Me encantaría poder volar. Siento envidia de esa gaviota. En realidad siento envidia de cualquiera que pueda llegar hasta aquí volando. Pero no. Por contra, a nosotros nos toca otra cosa.
Once upon a time in the Canaries, I really enjoyed this film. I loved how Nola made an impact on every person that came across her path in some unique way. In this journey to find her father, she reconnects others with their father. She finds the true story of her mother. She discovers her own heritage and herself and finds her mother at the end. And I love the endings especially because it showed the connection and the similarities between these two cultures. And it reminds us that we are all not so different, even no matter where we came from. It touches on what migrants and immigrants go through when they're coming from one country to another and the harsh reality of what a lot of them face. Prejudice, being mishandled, being misused, having the language barrier, having to deal with the homelessness and being displaced and not having any place to go. This film was it was all about, for me, the kindness of strangers, the importance of connection, the idea of being so purposeful in this journey that she'll cross oceans for it. Her want to connect with her father, even though she essentially ends it without ever really finding out who he was just this driving force throughout this whole story. It was beautifully done. The emotional performances were also distinctive, also believable. The characters in this were also likable, and it just had such light moments mixed in with these heavy moments. And I found this myself really drawn to the character Nola and wanting her to win. I just felt that her performance was extremely captivating.
I really liked Once Upon a Time in the Canaries. I thought that the acting, first of all, that main actress is a star. Is Oscar like she's ready to go up for the Oscars, for Academy Awards, Golden Globes, everything. She's a star. Everybody was great. I thought the directing was really strong, and the editing, um, as far as like keeping the pacing up, the story's momentum. And I thought it was just a strong. I like the choice of how y'all use narration, specifically like how it kind of changed and like adjusted with new information, and like and how you as the story as the filmmaker were like a dealer with all the cards with all of the story, and you chose the order in which you play the cards, the order in which you would reveal information to the audience. I think the way y'all did that was very strong, if that makes any sort of sense. Uh, Yeah, I like the editing and the way how it was like broken up into chapters. It felt like almost like it felt like a book, like it felt like a movie but a book, which I think serves this type of story well. Um, yeah, overall, really well done.
This reviews for Once Upon a Time in the Canaries. I love this film. The storytelling was beautiful with the chapters, the separations. They give us this deep dive into Nola's journey. Um, we have beautiful people she calls angels that help her out, teach her about life, love, and companionship. We also explore these angels' own struggles and hurdles and feelings, and how um, Nola also gave these angels some peace back and some learnings as well. They have amazing performances and an incredibly profound script involving as well the Canaries' history and life's turns all around the colonization topics, racism. It is very well complemented to the main story of Nola's journey from Africa. It is poetically tragic when she finds out all about the father and the mom, and it's this point where she's facing reality when her whole life was based on something else, some story she was told, someone else deciding what she needed to know. It was just beautiful. I had a great time, and I am such a fan of Kika Miro. I loved her watching her at this film. Yeah, great job. I really enjoyed it.
Once Upon a Time in the Canaries. First, I want to say that this is just an amazing film. I loved every bit of this. I can't say enough about it. I think everything from the writing to the casting to the makeup, the costumes, wardrobe, hair, cinematography, the order in which everything was placed. I love the scene selections and order and the editing and the direction, and just I love that it was broken up into chapters as well. But one thing I really loved about this was that it felt like a documentary, like I was actually following along in this girl's journey while it was happening. That's amazing to me. Thought it was done so well, and all of the actors were so good. I love the children in the beginning. The main actress, great job of carrying this film. Just wonderful work. In the beginning, I really liked the shot where they were running up on the beach, and there was a white guy standing there with an ice cream cone, like he's just hanging out on vacation, and they're having this moment in their life that's so deep and big and just life-changing, and he's just standing there with an ice cream cone. I just thought the not the dynamic, but the difference there was so great to see that. Just crazy. Just beautiful colors in this, the cinematography and the lighting and the colors, the set design, the locations, just all so great. There was a scene I remember where the main character and her brother, half brother, are sitting on a blue bench. I just really liked that scene. The coloring and everything I thought was really cool and visually appealing. Very nice music throughout, great casting. Just all of this so technically done, great production value here. I felt like I was watching this on Amazon, or this could even be in the theaters. I really think this should get distribution if it doesn't have it already. I loved so much about this. I love the twists, of course. Totally wasn't expecting her to actually meet her mom and that her mom was alive. So you really did take me on a journey that I was very surprised and satisfied with it all. So touching, it brought tears to my eyes. Just really great, really well done on everybody, all the performers, not just the lead actress who I really loved, but also everybody else. Just the characters that she came across, just everybody was so solid in their performances. I really loved the message in a bottle because I loved the explanation. Instead of having exposition in a way that was obvious, to me that was like explaining this girl's story. And I liked how it was kind of put in there quite a bit, the story, which wasn't even actually true. So it really made the reveal that much more satisfying. That it was not satisfying, but more of a surprise. Like, we were hearing this story over and over as the audience, accepting it for fact as she did, and then we were like blown away like her. This is why partly I felt like I was just on this journey with her, because we as the audience didn't know that wasn't true until she did. So, and I really loved when she was being told by who she thought was her dad the story, and then her friend was inside being told by the dad's friend or lawyer. Really, really well done. Just so great. So many things in this that were amazing. Just all the way around, this is an award winner. This should be seen by millions of people. Just the message was great, especially about how tough it is to get from one country to another when you're worried about is your documentation to get somewhere, when really is that what should be the important thing here. I just love all the relationships too, like the relationship she had with the reporter, and how our choices, even the smallest choices, can lead us to what we're looking for, when we don't know if we should be making that choice, if that makes sense. So the fact that she reached out to that reporter and said, can I please say something, and then the reporter, I don't know, just spoke her truth, and it still brought them together. If they hadn't reacted the way they had, or asked for what they needed in that moment, or those choices that they made would maybe not have led them to, the reporter finding her father, and then the girl finding her mother and who she thought was her father. So just all the little choices we make, and just really accepting and believing that these are the things we should be doing, like believing in the universe helping us out, and trusting your instincts. Because that's, at first I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a coincidence that this is that guy's daughter, Paco's daughter, the reporter. But then, it wasn't necessarily a coincidence. It was the universe helping them out, and the choices they made along the way, and the path they chose to take took them there. So really well done. I love this. I can't talk about it enough, but I'm going to stop now. So great job, you guys. Thank you for doing this. It was awesome to watch.
Once Upon a Time in the Canaries is a truly wonderful film. It captured my attention from the start. It's really mesmerizing. The characters and narrators offer so much nuance and are interesting and well developed, and so many characters, and each one has their own distinct personality. It's genuinely like meeting people on a journey, and I think the movie does that really well, and it brings an element of something else as the story progresses. I love the way the editing pulls the story together, and the unexpected twists and turns definitely hold your interest. Beautiful, really beautiful visually and sound-wise, especially. If you're watching this in the winter, it's a great escape to somewhere nice and sunny, and it doesn't skimp on imagery or on context. Really great, really thought-provoking, really beautiful, and heart-tugging. Highly recommend this film.
I really enjoyed the story Once Upon a Time in the Canaries. I think you do a great job of establishing this main character, Nola, and her search to find her father, and bringing about the concept of wanting to connect and doing that on an interpersonal level, wanting to do that with her father, but finding all of these personal connections along the way with while she's searching for him. And even though she doesn't find her father in the end, there's still that sense of like there was a connection in some way, which was really, really beautiful to watch. I think you do a great job of showcasing like the different issues with immigration and alongside this narrative as well. I think you do a great job of showcasing that and the different hardships faced by those immigrating and traveling, and like the really real issues that come up alongside of that. I think this was shot really well. I think the pacing was great. Like I said, I think the story was really compelling for all characters involved, and I think it offered a view to let viewers like look into some of these greater social issues that you bring up as well. But overall, I think it was a really, really compelling story, and a really great film. Very, very well done.
Once Upon a Time in the Canary Seas. I think that the story is very pertinent, and I think the actors are very skilled at portraying their roles, and I think that they have great chemistry between them, and because of that, I think their dialogue flows very well, and it's very beautifully written. I think I like the cinematography, and I think that it's very good and unique, because this feature has sort of elements that make it come off sort of like as a documentary, which I think is interesting for a narrative. So those are my thoughts.